Good morning, afternoon and evening everyone. My name is Liam and welcome back to the Pokemon Premier League Week 4. This week, is it Week 4? I feel like it is Week 4. Week 4. This week we face the Thunderbolton Warriors, aka Paulie Again, his channel will be in the description below. Just like always, Paulie was I believe the champion from D2 last season, or at least the runner-up from D2 last season. He was promoted from Division 2 last season, and his draft this season is just kind of ridiculous. As you can see it on the screen right now. I'm just trying to see if it is actually Week 4 or not, I don't remember. It was Week 4, good. This is a late upload, by the way, guys, so bear with me. But his draft is kind of ridiculous, as you can see it on the screen now. He has Latios, Manaphy, and Latios, Manaphy, you can just stop right there, that's already amazing. Zapdos, Registeel, Emboar, Crocodile, Hitmonchan, Garbodor, and the walliest of walls, the Mega Ordino, aka How the Hell Do You Kill Me? So, yeah, that's what we're going up against this week. Latios, Manaphy, Registeel, Mega Ordino is just kind of ridiculous, because how the hell do you kill all of them? And then with offensive threats like Emboar, Zapdos, and Crocodile, plus Hitmonchan, Garbodor can even do stuff with Hazard set in. The team's just kind of stupid to go against. But I've done my best to build a team against it. And first up on the team, as you can see, we have our Whimsicott. I love Whimsicott so much this season. Whimsicott's so freaking good. Called Scab with the leftovers with Prankster and her, Whimsicott, Scab is a lady, with Encore, Substitute, Leech Seed, and Moonblast. If you look at his team, you might notice what I noticed, that he just doesn't have a grass type. Like, he just doesn't have a grass type. So this is the absolute perfect week to bring Substitute Leech Seed. It's just the perfect week for it. There's no other Whimsicott to bring this week. I also have Encore in case he's trying to set up with Manaphy, because this thing can switch into Manaphy pretty well, even if he had, unless he predicts that and goes for the Ice Beam. But I had the Encore just in case he wanted to set up a Tail Glow, and I had the Encore there as well in case he had Calm Mind on Latios or anything like that. Encore for his Wish Passing Mega Ordino, Encore for his Stealth Rocking Registeel. Encore is just a really good move to bring this week. Paired with Substitute and Leech Seed and Moonblast, it's crazy. I also left off the HP on Whimsicott because he has a very HP heavy team. Like all of his team have really good HP stats. Well, most of his team have really good HP stats. So I'm going to be getting the maximum amount of health back from Leech Seed, and with leftovers as well. That'll pretty much, if I can set up a Substitute and then get a Leech Seed off, Leech Seed and leftovers combination will completely recover the damage from Substitute. That's pretty much what that's going to be. And Moonblast is just there to hit things. It doesn't really hit Registeel, but I can substitute Leech Seed on Registeel and Encore and stuff like that. And plus you'll see what else I have for Registeel later on. And Moonblast is just there to pretty much hit the rest of the team. And it does a lot of damage to Latios as well, being that with 252 special attack invested, which is pretty good. Next up we have Hedonism Bot. If you don't get the nickname, it's from Futurama. It's the golden robot who rubs his belly with oil. Licky Licky we have with Wish, Protect, Dragon Tail, and Body Slam. Dragon Tail is there to get Manaphy out in case he thinks he can set up on us. Wish Protect is just there to pass Wish Protects around as usual. And Body Slam is just there for damage and potential paralyze. 252 special defense this week. Special defense is just there to take hits from Latios. Psyshock could 2-hit KO us, or Life Orb Latios could 2-hit KO us if he went for Psyshock and then Draco Meteor. But with the Protect leftovers, I think I would have been able to live that. I'm not 100% sure, as long as rocks weren't up. So that was that. Licky Licky was just kind of like my best special defensive thing to bring against Latios, in case he also had the Shadow Ball for Yuxi. Yeah, that's pretty much all Licky Licky was there to do. Licky Licky could also do things against the or it could also take a hit from the Zapdos if need be. But then the Zapdos could set up on me, so it wasn't really made for that. Licky Licky was just kind of there to take some special hits from things and Dragon Tail out Manaphy if need be. Next up we have McIceface, our choice Scarf. Kieran Black, this week with Flash Cannon, Ice Beam, Earth Power, and Fusion Bolt. This is just a Kieran Black to hit everything, pretty much. It's coverage for his whole team, pretty much. Fusion Bolt hits Manaphy, and then the rest of the moves hit everything else. If I could just run through the team, I get up on the screen. Latios gets hit with Ice Beam, Manaphy gets hit with Fusion Bolt, Zapdos gets hit with Ice Beam, Registeel gets hit with Earth Power, Emboar gets hit with Earth Power, Crocodile gets hit with Ice Beam, Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan's the one thing that could take a hit from this thing, really. Garbodor gets hit with Earth Power, and Megarodino gets hit with Flash Cannon, but Megarodino can take any hit it wants, really. Choice Scarf with enough speed to outspeed a Scarf Crocodile, pretty much, just in case he wanted to bring Scarf Crook. I didn't try to outspeed Latios because I assumed the Latios would be Choice Scarf to outspeed my Choice Scarf Kieran Black, so I just put the extra things into defense and HP so I could come in on rocks a bit easier. So Kieran Black just does Kieran Black things again. Next up we have Double Barrel, the Infernape with Life Orb, Iron Fist, with Muck Punch, U-Turn, Gunk Shot and Close Combat. I didn't see the need to bring Fire Stab this week, especially with things like Latios and Manaphy going around, and even Emboar. Plus, the only thing Fire Stab would hit super effectively is Registeel, and even then if I brought Flare Blitz, Registeel would take a Flare Blitz pretty well. And with the recoil as well and Life Orb, I didn't really want to be clicking Flare Blitz, I'd rather click Close Combat on that one. So that's why I didn't really bring the Fire Stab this week. But Infernape should do pretty well. Gunk Shot hits the Megarodino, obviously, and Iron Fist Muck Punch is for Scarf Crook, or just for Crook in general. Even if it was Intimidate set, then Muck Punch would do around 50%. Yeah, and it could it helps if he brought Scarf Emboar as well, in case he had Scarf Emboar, because then he would have to, I could click Mark Punch and he would have, and if I revealed the Mark Punch, he'd have to lock himself in Sucker Punch, pretty much. So there is that. Infernape just kind of does well with the offensive set that we have. U-Turn obviously there just for momentum, and hits Latios okay, and it can U-Turn on most things really. Next up we have Yuxi the Papa Johns holding the Colbur Berry with Stealth Rock, Side Shock, U-Turn and Yawn. The Colbur Berry is there for Crocodile as well, because I really thought Crocodile was going to come this week. I didn't really have much to take it on. I didn't have much that wants to take knockoff, and the stuff that does want to take knockoff doesn't want to take Earthquake pretty much. But I brought Stealth Rock because rocks are good against his team. Zapdos is good. It's good to get rocks on Zapdos. Good to get rocks on Manaphy as it switches in and out. Chip damage on Mega Ordino would always be great because of how fat it is. And his only form of hazard removal is Hitmonchan, which Yuxi can take on, and Zapdos, which doesn't really want to be coming in on rocks too often anyway. Colbur, again, like I said, was there to weaken, was there to take hit from knockoff Pursuit, that kind of thing. And U-Turn was there to U-Turn on the Crook in case I was being Pursuit trapped. So there was that, pretty much. I was going to run Thunderbolt at one point, but I just decided to go with Psyshock instead. And Yawn is there for slow U-turns, so I can Yawn on something and he can either just let it go to sleep and I can U-turn out, or he can switch so it doesn't fall asleep and I can U-turn out. That's why Yawn is on the Yuxi, and I really like the idea of Yawn on the Yuxi. And last but not least, we bring the Weakness Policy Golem once again, this week with Rock Polish, Heavy Slam, Earthquake and Stone Edge. Weakness Policy Golem does really well against Paul's team. It hits Latios pretty hard. If Latios wasn't scarfed, then if Latios isn't scarfed, then I can outspeed it at +2 speed. Plus, then I can kill it with one Heavy Slam if he has no defense investment. Manaphy doesn't really want to take a Stone Edge. Zapdos definitely doesn't want to take a Stone Edge. Zapdos gets KO'd even if he has a Chople Berry after Rocks. So I really need Rocks up with Yuxi in this game. Registeel can take an Earthquake, but it doesn't really want to take too many. And this pairs up with the Whimsicott as well that I said, because if he's going for Iron Heads to break my Substitute, then I can go into Golem and get my Weakness Policy off easily, because it won't do too much damage to me, and I can get the Weakness Policy off, which is great. Again, takes on Emboar, takes on Crook quite well. Hitmonchan can kind of do stuff if he brings Muck Punch. That kind of ruins the idea behind this Golem. That's pretty much it. Ordino can wear us down eventually with Toxic Protect if it wants to, but it doesn't really want to take a Heavy Slam. Or a Stone Edge for that matter. So that's the team we're bringing against Paul this week. Again, Paul's got a scary draft, so let's throw it over to the battle and see how this team does. So, as we can see here, Paul has decided to bring the Latios, Mega Ordino, Registeel, Zapdos, Emboar and Manaphy. The Manaphy is going to be a huge problem. I hate facing Manaphy. I think everyone just hates facing Manaphy. But I don't see the Hitmonchan, which is really good. So the only form of hazard removal he has is the Defog Zapdos. So I really want Rocks up this game. And my Weakness Policy Golem should be able to do really good work here. Whimsicott's looking really good as well for the Substitute and Leech Seed plan we have, plus the Encore plan. So let's just jump right in. I've never faced Paul before. So this was definitely a interesting experience because I have no idea how he battles. I've never faced him. But I started off with my Infernape. It was a fairly safe lead because I can just U-turn out on anything pretty much. Except for Latios. But like I said, I can just U-turn out on anything. I was going to outspeed the Manaphy, so I had no problem just U-turning on it. It took barely anything from U-turn, which after I calced it, turned out this thing was full physically defensive. Or I found out I calced it and saw that this thing was full Fizz Def Manaphy. So immediately I noted down that he was probably going to be Rest and Rain Dance. He goes for the Scaldle, which Whimsicott takes very well, and he doesn't get the burn, which is great. So I can carry on with my Substitute Leech Seed shenanigans as planned. He has also Leftovers, which just confirms to me that he is Rest, Rain Dance, Max Defense, Tail Glow, or Calm Mind, and then Scald. But he switches out here because he just doesn't have anything really to hit the Whimsicott as I get my sub up as planned. And now I'm getting the Leftovers and Mega Ordino is in, which is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted because I don't have much to wear down the Mega Ordino. I just do not have much to wear it down. So my main plan here was just to pretty much sub Leech Seed on it and wear it down slowly because I was not going to take this thing on with big hits. So I do land the Leech Seed. Mega Ordino has a really high HP stat. He does have the Flamethrower to break my sub, which is good to note down. He is going to break my sub every time, but because of his high HP stat, like I said at the start of the video when I was going through my team, I can, with my Leftovers and Leech Seed recovery, if you look at our HP stat after this, after the slow Leech Seed animation, we're back to pretty much full health before we took the Substitute damage. So I was on 123, the Substitute puts me down to 89. He goes for Dazzling Gleam here, which I'm pretty sure also breaks the sub, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping that wouldn't, but without the HP stat, it definitely broke the sub. With the Leftovers though, again, and with the Leech Seed again, I'm pretty sure that puts us back on 123, so we took literally no damage from that. With this, I think this puts us back on one. Yeah, we took literally no damage from it, so I have no reason to not just keep on clicking Leech Seed here, because he has nothing that he can do to my Whimsicott. There is nothing this Mega Ordino can do to my Whimsicott while it is Leech Seeded. He does go for the Wish though to start wishing this health back up so he can break my sub again easily. Also, he can just get a switch off into anything without taking too much damage. Back up to 123. I do go for the Encore here, revealing the Encore. So he is stuck in that Wish, so he cannot break my sub this turn. He does get back up to full health, which is less than fortunate. But he is stuck into Wish now, as my Whimsicott can just keep doing Whimsicott things, and he has nothing he can do to me, pretty much. There is nothing this Whimsicott just now completely walls this Mega Ordino. Because if he had, I just assumed that his last move was going to be Protect. If he had Wish, I just assumed his last move was going to be Protect. I do go for the Moonblast here just to start putting out damage, because he is Encored into Wish, and that Moonblast was, I used it so I could calc what possible set his Mega Ordino was, and I think it was just mixed defense with max HP. He is down to half health now, and I predicted him to switch out here because the Mega Ordino couldn't do anything to me at all. So I predicted him switch out there, go for the Leech Seed again, and now he's in the same problem again, as now he has a Leech Seeded Registeel against my Whimsicott, and Registeel also has really high HP stats, so I'm still getting all my health back. I do click Moonblast here just so I can pop his Air Balloon. I could have gone for a... Well, I probably would have gone Moonblast there anyway, no matter what, because he would have just broken my sub or gone for Stealth Rock with Iron Head. Broken my sub with Iron Head or gone for Stealth Rock, so there's no reason for me not to click Moonblast there just for damage and to pop the balloon. I couldn't really go for anything else. But now his Registeel has taken a decent amount of damage too. He does switch out here, because he used Stealth Rocks and he knows I have Encore. I predicted the switch though, because I know he knows I have Encore and he would not stay in. So I just clicked Leech Seed again because I knew he was going to switch out. Now I have Leech Seed on the Latios, and this is perfect. I'm behind a sub on the Latios, so I can click Moonblast on this Latios just like I want. This is the only reason I have this is the main reason I had Moonblast on my Whimsicott over Giga Drain. And this is going to put in a massive amount of damage on Latios, as he does break my sub with the Psychic. It takes him down to red health, which is crazy. And I get the special attack drop, which makes things even better. It makes things even better, because now I don't have to take any damage on my Whimsicott by going for sub. And I can get an easier switch into my Yuxi, which is going to take hardly any damage from any attack he wants to put out after the special attack drop. He does go for Psychic again, and after the match he told me that his Latios was Scarfed. So it is absolutely amazing that we could take this Latios down early, as that gives Kiran Black an easier time later on, and Golem an easier time later on, because Scarf Latios would definitely have ran through the team quite easily. He does bring in the Registeel here, as I go for the Stealth Rocks. Like I said earlier on, I needed Stealth Rocks up this game, they just helped way too much. As he just goes for the Toxic on my Yuxi to start wearing it down. I do not have Heal Bell this week. If I did, then maybe it would have gone differently, but I didn't bring Heal Bell this week. Instead, I just decided to go full-on offensive, pretty much, status things. I do go for the Yawn on Registeel here, so I can start setting up for my slow U-turn. He predicts me to switch, though, as I went for the Yawn, which was great. At this point, I didn't really need Yuxi anymore. It set up rocks, it's yawned on the Registeel, so I just went for Psyshock for damage. I didn't need Yuxi, I was totally ready to just sack it off. As he goes for Toxic again, predicting me to switch. I didn't need Yuxi, which is why I was just staying in. And I didn't mind the Toxic damage racking up. So now he's asleep with Registeel. Now's the perfect time for me to go for U-turn, as I decide to now keep Yuxi in this certain situation, because now I can use it as sack fodder later on, because I just really don't need it anymore. It's just not needed, especially without Hitmonchan being there. It's got rocks up, it's put Registeel to sleep, Yuxi's not needed, it's done what it needed to do. I do U-turn on the Emboar, and now we get into a problem where I don't have a switch into this thing. I bring in Golem, which takes rocks damage, which means I don't have Sturdy, rather unfortunate. I pull the double though, expecting him to go for the fighting move, possibly a superpower, as I go out into Whimsicott, which is also going to take rocks damage, which is less than fortunate. As he reveals Scald! He has the Gentleman's Scald on his Emboar, as I avoid the burn again. Whimsicott is an amazing Pokemon. Look at you little scab. I click Substitute here just to see if he is Scarfed or choiced in any way. He's not. He goes for the Flare Blitz, which is obviously going to break my sub, and he's going to take very little recoil damage because I have no HP investment. So now it's turned into I don't have a switch in for this thing at all, but I need to get in my Kyurem so I can click Earth Power on this thing. Whimsicott's not going to be able to do anything here. Like I said, I do have a sack fodder Pokemon in the back. So I do go out into Yuxi, which will definitely die from any hit that this Emboar wants to put out. As he clicks Flare Blitz again, which is great for me because he gets more recoil damage. If he clicked Scald there, he probably would have killed me anyway, and he might not have got the recoil damage, but Whimsicott goes down as a tactical sack, and now his Emboar is now on about 70% as well as I bring in Kyurem. With his walls so low, he has Ordino at half health, he has Registeel at about 60, and now the Emboar was at about 70. He doesn't have too much to bring in on Kyurem. Now, I got very lucky here. I got very lucky there because I took a very long time to make that move, not knowing what I wanted to go for. I actually timed out and the game picked Fusion Bolt for me. So getting the Fusion Bolt on Manaphy was amazing because I was debating whether to click Earth Power or Ice Beam. So I got a bit of RNG there for me, as I did land on the Fusion Bolt on the Manaphy, which put out nice damage on it, put out great damage. I do go out into Whimsicott here expecting him to switch as well because he's not going to take another Fusion Bolt, and I was Choice Scarf so I could have taken him out. So I expected him to switch, so I just went straight out into my Whimsicott again, which pretty much does work against the rest of his team unless he brought in the Emboar, in which case I probably would have had to sack Whimsicott. I go for the sub because Registeel's still asleep, and Registeel's going to stay asleep because he hasn't had a turn of sleep yet. As I get my leftovers, and I'm just going to Subseed again. Literally substitute Leech Seed again. Click for Leech Seed and I miss, which doesn't really make up for the Fusion Bolt, but it puts some RNG back in his favour. It doesn't make up for the Fusion Bolt at all, but hey, last season I lost 2 Speed Ties and missed Focus Blast, which lost me a game. I lost 3 games due to RNG and coin flips last season. I'm allowed to have luck sometimes. As I do get the Leech Seed off on Registeel now. He does break my sub with Iron Head, but I have my Leech Seed on it again, thanks to leftovers and Leech Seed health. Whimsicott's going to be back up to over half again, so I can continue with my Whimsicott shenanigans, as his Registeel is now below half as well. I know he's going to click Iron Head to break my substitute. Now I go into Golem. The plan is taking effect. The plan is taking effect. I know he's going to click Iron Head. I go into Golem. He hits me with the Iron Head. It doesn't even knock me down to half as I get my weakness policy. And now is Golem's time to shine once again. I love Golem. It is fantastic and underrated. I even get some Leech Seed health back on Golem. Not as much as I would get on Whimsicott because Golem has some HP in him, but still pretty decent. I set up the Rock Polish because he can't kill me with Iron Head, so now I'm at +2, +2, +2. He goes for Toxic, which lands. If he missed that Toxic, Golem would have easily just swept the rest of his team. It would have swept the rest of his team easily. So Registeel's down to the red health here. I can pretty much just kill him off with an Earthquake. I have no problem just clicking Earthquake at this point. His Registeel can't really do anything. Everything on my team will kill it. So I just click the Earthquake and kill off Registeel, and Golem gets a kill again. Golem is so good. It's so good every time. Blop, blop, blop. I take the toxic damage. Obviously I don't get leftovers back because I am weakness policy. He brings in the Mega Ordino because the Mega Ordino has Protect, so he can Protect here and Toxic stall me down a little bit, as that is the only way he has to deal with my Golem now, with me being at +2 speed, because I would kill the Manaphy with a Earthquake. I went for the Heavy Slam there just to reveal it, so he would think I would go for the Heavy Slam again. But Stone Edge would have killed his Mega Ordino anyway, and it hit the Zapdos. So once he saw the Heavy Slam, I changed up my moves to go for the Stone Edge instead, in case he brought in the Zapdos, and it does. He does have the Chople Berry like I said in the team builder, but thanks to Rocks, Stone Edge kills him anyway. Or Charty Berry. I think I said Chople Berry earlier on as well. It's Charty Berry. Chople Berry's fighting. So Golem kills off the Zapdos as well, which is brilliant. As I said, Stone Edge would have killed off the Mega Ordino, so I was safe to go for Stone Edge there as well. He brings the Mega Ordino back in. These rocks really paying off as it continues to wear it down. And he has no other choice than to go for Protect here, just so my Golem will go down to the toxic damage. I had no reason to switch out and try and save Golem, so I was okay letting it go down to the toxic. It done exactly what it was made to do, which was punch the hole in the team. And at this point, Infernape can come back in and just clean up the rest of his team with close combat. Nothing else on the team, nothing else on his team wants to take a Life Orb close combat. Not Mega Ordino, not Manaphy, even though it's Fizz Def, and not Embor. And even if Embor did want to take one, I could have gone out into my Kieran Black, killed it with Earth Power, and killed Manaphy with Earth Power as well after rocks. So, ladies and gentlemen, supporters of West Shan United, we have our first win of the season! Oh, it feels so good to say that as Manaphy goes down to the close combat. The crit didn't matter there, it was just like salt in the wound. The crit did not matter there at all. But Manaphy goes down and we have our first win of the season. It is so good. Let me say it again. Our first win of the season. It feels so good to be able to say that. We're finally off the mark and finally over the hump. We have it. We have our win. And it's over Paul as well, who is a great battler and one of the ones who at the start of the season I was pretty much certain I was going to lose against. I was certain I was going to lose against Paul because he is brilliant. If you want to see some good battles, go over to his channel because he is an amazing battler and he always gets good drafts. He's very good at draft league format and always gets good and interesting drafts. So check him out. But we are now 1-3 and we get a 4-0 victory as the only two to die were Yuxi and Golem. Thank you guys for watching this video though. I appreciate all your continued support. Next week we face under the radar Kelly, who we beat last season 5-0. Let's see if we can get 2 wins in a row. Be the first time I've only been in. This is only the second time I've done a draft league, but this will be the first time I get 2 wins in a row if I can beat Kelly. So fingers crossed for that. Thank you guys for watching once again. I love you all very much. I will see you all for the next one very soon. Take care everyone. Mwah. Bye bye.